pretty well, and there's a lot of cheer. Markets opening in green today. But what else can we expect in terms of the market movement? You know, the markets opened a short while back. Yes, Pranav.
Well, basically, it necessarily indicates a positive sentiment. I mean, if you look at the FIIs and the DIIs, that is the foreign institutional investors and the domestic institutional investors, the FIIs have been on a selling spree in light of the tariffs, because they were not viewing Indian economy as, you know, there were speculations of some headwinds on the on Indian economy. But over the past about 2 to 3 days, there has been a spike. In fact, the domestic investor is the one that has kind of buoyed the Indian markets. The India VIX, which is a fear index, has cooled down by almost about 4% over the past about a week or so. So it indicates that the Indian investors' confidence in the Indian economy is strong, despite the fact that there could be, tariffs impacting the Indian economy. So a consumption-led cycle is what we could be looking at, especially given that there is festive season ahead now.
All right, thank you, Pranav, for getting those details for us. In fact, I really want our viewers to hear what the Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman said. She said that the reforms have been carried out with a focus on the common man. Every tax on the common man's daily use items has gone through a rigorous review, and in most cases, the rates have come down drastically. Labor-intensive industries have been given a good support. Farmers and the agriculture sector, as well as the health sector, will benefit. Key drivers of the economy will be given prominence. Listen in.
Reduction from 18 or from 12 to 5%. I list out those items, all of whom have come to 5% from either 18 or from 12. Common man items such as hair oil, toilet soap, bars, soap bars, shampoos, toothbrushes, toothpaste, bicycles, tableware, kitchenware and other household articles have all come to 5, whether they were in 18 or whether they were in 12. Similarly, reduction of GST from 5% to nil. 5 से 0 में जाने वाले items indicate कर रहा हूँ. Ultra high temperature milk, the UHT milk, chena or paneer, all the Indian breads will see nil rate. So roti kisi ke upar bhi, chapati or roti or paratha or whatever it is, they all come to nil. Reduction of GST from 12% or from 18% to 5. इसमें फूड आइटम्स बहुत सारे हैं, नमकीन से भुजिया है, सॉसेस है, पास्ता है, इंस्टेंट नूडल्स है, चॉकलेट्स, कॉफ़ी, प्रिजर्व्ड मीट, कॉर्नफ्लेक्स, बटर, घी, ये सब 5% में आ रही है. फिर रिडक्शन फ्रॉम 28 टू 18%. इसमें मिडिल क्लास के एस्पिरेशंस मीट करने वाले बहुत सारे चीज़ हैं. एयर कंडीशनिंग मशीन्स, TVs which are over 32 inches, all TVs now at 18%. I want to underline, all TVs are now at 18%. Dishwashing machines, small cars, motorcycles equal to or less than 350 cc are all now coming to 18. Agriculture goods such as tractors, agricultural, horticultural and forestry machines for soil preparation or cultivation, harvesting or threshing machines, including straw or fodder balers, grass or hay movers, composting machines, etc., are all coming down from 12 to 5%. Reduction of GST from 12 to 5% on 12 specified biopesticides. Also from 12 to 5 is natural menthol. So किसान के लिए उनके products के लिए जो वो उपयोग करते हैं उन सब में it has come down. Again from 12 to 5, handicrafts and also labor intensive sectors. What are they? Handicrafts, marble, travertine blocks, granite blocks, intermediate leather goods. ये सब 5 में आ रही है. Reduction of cement from 28 to 18, क्योंकि घर बनाने में मिडिल क्लास के लिए सीमेंट इतना आवश्यक है, इसीलिए 28 it has come down to 18. Health-related items, 33 life-saving drugs and medicines, and they all come down from 12 to 0. From 5 to 0 and 3 life-saving drugs and medicines used for treatment of cancer, rare diseases and other severe chronic diseases. There are several drugs and medicines coming down to 5 from 12.
And we're picking up more political responses are coming in on the government's GST bonanza. So let's go play out all the political reactions across party lines.
Now, removing GST from life-saving drugs or from your life-saving earnings or the medical insurance. So these are the historical steps which I believe that every Indian is welcoming this. Second,
जीएसटी में जो एक महत्वपूर्ण बदलाव है वो घोषित किया है, जो कि नवरात्रि के पहले दिन से लागू होगा। हमारे मध्यम वर्गीय परिवारों के जीवन में काम में आने वाली प्राय हर चीज़, चाहे खाने से संबंधित हो, चाहे पहनने से संबंधित हो, चाहे बच्चों की पढ़ाई से संबंधित हो, चाहे घर में टीवी स्कूटर से संबंधित हो, चाहे घर में वॉशिंग मशीन से संबंधित हो, हर चीज़ पर जीएसटी की दरें एक बड़ी मात्रा में कम की गई है, जिससे कि हमारे जन के जीवन में, हमारे मध्यम वर्ग परिवारों के जीवन में, हमारे गरीब परिवारों के जीवन में एक बड़ी खुशी की लहर है। मैं माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी को साधुवाद देना चाहूँगा, धन्यवाद देना चाहूँगा। माननीय वित्त मंत्री जी को धन्यवाद देना चाहूँगा कि इतने मेथोडिकल तरीके से और एक आइटम का निर्णय लिया गया और इस निर्णय से सभी परिवारों में एक खुशी का माहौल है। आने वाले समय में आप देखेंगे नवरात्रि के पहले दिन से जब जीएसटी की नई रेट्स लागू होंगी, तब हमारे देश में बहुत बड़े करोड़ों देशवासियों के जीवन में ये खुशी की लहर आएगी। धन्यवाद।
सर, कंज्यूमर इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स पे कम किया गया है जीएसटी, काफी हद तक मिल कर किया गया है उस पे, तो
मैं इसी को इंग्लिश में ले लेता हूँ। इट्स अ मैटर ऑफ ग्रेट जॉय फॉर ऑल ऑफ अस that Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji has decided to reduce the GST rates for practically everything that is used in the lives of our middle class families and our low income families. Starting from food items to items which are used in day-to-day life, to students, items which are required by our students, to the items which are used in our homes, whether it is consumer electronics, small cars, scooters, everything is now going to see a lower GST rate from the first day of Navratri. I would like to thank Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji for this big step, a major reform which is going to help each and every family in our country. Thank you. I would like to thank Honorable Finance Minister Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman ji for this major step, major rationalization of GST rates. Thank you.
All right, multiple reactions coming in right now after Finance Minister Sitharaman has announced the sweeping goods and services tax rate cuts effective from September 22nd. The GST revamp brings a majority of items in the 5% and 18% slabs, with many items like Indian breads, paneer now facing 0% or nil tax as well, viewers. We're getting some more reactions coming in, viewers. Let's go ahead and play out the other political reactions we're getting, as many leaders have also, like you heard, thanked Prime Minister Modi for this Diwali gift.
तो बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देना चाहती हूँ मैं देश के प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी को। एक बहुत बड़ा उपहार उन्होंने देश के आम नागरिक को दिया है, इतना बड़ा रिलीफ जिससे ना केवल सीधा साधारण जनता को लाभ मिल रहा है, जिस तरीके से हेल्थ सेक्टर में, इंश्योरेंस में, छोटी आपकी घर की रोज़मर्रा की वस्तुएं, आपका इलेक्ट्रॉनिक, हर शिक्षा के क्षेत्र में, हर चीज़ में आपने जिस तरीके से जीएसटी में रिलीफ दिया है, करोड़ों जनता प्रधानमंत्री जी का धन्यवाद करती है।
आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी का और देश की वित्त मंत्री श्रीमती निर्मला सीतारमण जी का मैं बहुत बहुत आभार करती हूं, उनका धन्यवाद करती हूं, उनका अभिनंदन करती हूं। प्रधानमंत्री जी ने लाल किले की प्राचीर से जो घोषणा करी थी कि मोदी जी इस देश के फार्मर्स के हितों के लिए, मोदी जी इस देश के डेयरी इंडस्ट्री के हितों के लिए दीवार बन के खड़े हैं, लघु उद्योग यानी एमएसएमई के हितों के लिए दीवार बन के खड़े हैं, वो कवच की भूमिका वो निभाते हुए उन्होंने वहां पर जो घोषणा करी थी उसी को चरितार्थ करे हैं कल के ये जीएसटी रिफॉर्म्स ने। ये हमारी देश में एक आर्थिक क्रांति का उद्घोष कर रहे हैं। पुनः मोदी सरकार को बहुत बधाई।
Viewers, much coming right up. Actor Ashish Kapoor arrested in Pune on alleged rape charges. Investigation is underway. Stay tuned, viewers. We are live and breaking.
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरीडे।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े, क्या निराला MDH मसाला।
Yesterday, a coward decided to take our 8-year-old son Fletcher away from us. Because of their actions, we will never be allowed to hold him, talk to him, play with him, and watch him grow into the wonderful young man he was on the path to becoming.
For Ralph! Justice for Ralph! Justice for Ralph! Justice for Ralph! Justice for Ralph!
Massive GST rate cuts, consumer goods, farm products, cement and more set to get cheaper from 22nd September. D Street cheers major GST reform as markets open and green rupee strengthens by 17 paise against the US dollar. India battles record rainfall triggered flood landslides reported in Himachal's Kulu and Kishtwar in Jammu and Kashmir. Actor Ashish Kapoor arrested in Pune on alleged rape charges. Investigation is continuing. ED probe into betting app scam picks pace. Cricketer Shikhar Dhawan now summoned for questioning today. Putin's strong message to Trump says will not engage in foreign intervention. Getting to some big breaking updates coming in, viewers. Former India cricketer Shikhar Dhawan was summoned by the ED for questioning in connection with a money laundering probe linked to an illegal betting app scam. Central Probe Agency will record Shikhar Dhawan's statement under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act as part of its investigation linked to an illegal betting app scam. 1xBet, that is the name of that app called 1xBet. Now remember that after Suresh Raina, we see one more cricketer, one has been summoned. This time is Shikhar Dhawan in connection with the case involving the promotion of betting apps. So this is a developing news story coming in right now. But as we keep getting more updates, remember that this is the illegal betting app case where multiple celebrities have been summoned, they have been questioned, including actors. Now the entire focus is on money laundering. and on surrogate advertising used to promote illegal betting. Focus is on QR codes in the ads which directed users to betting platforms. Many apps use masks of skill games to look legal, and fantasy games involve money and rigged algorithms, cricketer to actors. All of them, multiple cricketers, multiple actors over the past few months have been called in for questioning in this case. All were involved in promotions of these apps. And these apps are using social media influencers for promotion. So back-to-back is coming in right now. Also remember that the crackdown on illegal betting apps and platforms is continuing because many of these apps are being promoted by celebrities. We're seeing that the complaints are coming in that celebrities are promoting such apps, which does not set a very good example to the youth of India. The ED has expanded its investigation in the illegal online betting app case. Many cricketers have also been questioned, including Harbhajan Singh, Suresh Raina. Actors such as Urvashi Rautela, Sonu Sood, among others, all of them are being questioned in this case. Part of the ongoing investigation into the promotion of banned platforms like 1xBet. These platforms use surrogate names such as 1xBet in ad campaigns that include web links and QR codes to redirect users. Let's go straight across to our senior editor Shravan Sen. Shravan, help us understand what we can expect next, because we know that many celebrities have been called in and summoned by the ED for questioning in this case.
Well, in fact, over 25 celebrities are basically under the scan of the Enforcement Directorate. As far as former cricketer Shikhar Dhawan is concerned, the allegation is that he has endorsed 1xBet, which happens to be an illegal betting app, which has now come under the scan of the Enforcement Directorate. Let me try and explain as to why he has come under the scan of the Enforcement Directorate. That's only because, remember, there are multiple betting apps which have been doing the rounds. In fact, they've been operating from multiple states. The first set of FIRs that were registered were in Hyderabad, based on which the Enforcement Directorate had thereafter registered a case where they're essentially looking at the fact that how these apps have been operating in violation of state laws. And more importantly is that several youth had basically lost their money only because the celebrities had endorsed these apps, making it look like credible apps in which they could actually participate. Due to which we are now given to understand that the Enforcement Directorate has basically began their probe. In fact, this is the second summon that has been sent to Shikhar Dhawan. In the past, to remember, for 1xBet, Suresh Raina was also summoned by the Enforcement Directorate. So it is just not limited to Shikhar Dhawan or, for that matter, Suresh Raina, but there are several stars who have basically come under the scanner. Roughly about 25 of them have now come under the scan of the Enforcement Directorate. In fact, summons have already been sent out to them. Essentially, what the Enforcement Directorate wants to know from these celebrities that were they basically aware of the fact that these were illegal betting apps. In fact, they have operated without any licenses to begin with. Secondly, the law of the land does not permit these betting apps to operate in the first place. Keeping in mind that such apps have been operating for several months put together, and they have also put out advertisements in various media outlets, making it look like as though these are legitimate betting apps in which people can actually participate.
Right, absolutely. Shravan, also keeping in mind that he has already appeared before the Enforcement Directorate, the summon was given for 11. We learned that he has been coordinating in the probe. What is the line of questioning that Shikhar Dhawan could likely go through as far as the case is concerned?
Well, in fact, Tanisha, the focus right now of the entire investigation is the fact whether at all these celebrities were aware that these are illegal betting apps to begin with. Secondly, did they actually take any sort of legal recourse or legal opinion before actually endorsing these apps? The reason why the celebrities have now come under the scrutiny of the Enforcement Directorate, it's only primarily because of these celebrities. You have large number of people actually participating in these betting apps, and the fact that their presence or their endorsement essentially made it look like these are legal apps. That is the reason why they have been called in for questioning. It is essentially to give them an opportunity to explain their position on this entire matter as to whether at all they were aware of the legal ramifications of endorsing an app which is not legal to begin with. So these are some of the areas that the Enforcement Directorate are essentially looking at right now as the probe has basically gained momentum.
Right, Shravan, please stay with us. I'm also being joined by Shambhavi reporting outside the Enforcement Directorate office in the National Capital. Shambhavi, what's the atmosphere there like? We learned that Shikhar Dhawan has already reached at the ED office.
Yes, Shikhar Dhawan is inside and the questioning is going on. Just today, the Enforcement Directorate summoned Shikhar Dhawan as part of a broader probe into the financial irregularities regarding the betting applications operating illegally, and the questioning will be tied to Enforcement Directorate checking and going through the money laundering charges which are related to these illegal betting apps, because a lot of celebrities have come under the scrutiny of Enforcement Directorate when similar cases regarding banning these illegal apps were going on in the Supreme Court as well. There were submissions made about how such apps have affected thousands of youth, and it is becoming a reason of a lot of youth committing suicide. So the questioning will be tied to Enforcement Directorate interrogating and investigating the money laundering charges about how these apps, betting apps, have been operating illegally. Back to you.
Right, Shambhavi, one last question before I let you go. What are the kind of allegations that have been pressed against Shikhar Dhawan? We learned that there are many other actors, along with Suresh Raina, one of the cricketer who has also been summoned. But when we talk about Shikhar Dhawan, what is the kind of allegation that the Enforcement Directorate has pressed upon him, around which the questioning will be carried out today?
So the question will be tied to his alleged involvement. What is the extent of his involvement, and how is this case connected to him, or when he signed up to be a part of this betting apps endorsement, was he aware of such illegal activity, or the fact that the app itself was operating illegally, and other financial irregularities which are a huge part of this case. So the questioning is going to be aligned to these subject matters itself.
Right, Shambhavi, thank you very much for getting us those details, keeping a very close watch on that story. But for now, we move on to some other stories that we are tracking. Television actor Ashish Kapoor was arrested by Delhi police from Pune after a woman has accused him of raping her at a house party in the national capital. We learned that the police said that the complainant had met Ashish Kapoor on a social media site and alleged that the incident took place at a party in Delhi in the second week of August, to be specific, at 11th August. Now, the police said that in her complaint, the victim stated that Ashish Kapoor sexually assaulted her in a washroom. According to police, the initial FIR named Ashish Kapoor, his friend, the friend's wife, and two unknown people as well. But later on, the victim said that she was not gang raped and that it was only Ashish Kapoor who raped her and then filmed her. We are also been joined by Meenakshi from Mumbai. Meenakshi, the allegations against the TV actor Ashish Kapoor are extremely serious. What is it that the FIR is stating regarding this matter?
Till now, we got to know that initial FIR victim alleged against 5 persons. Number 1 is Ashish Kapoor. Number 2 is Ashish Kapoor's friend. Number 3, Ashish Kapoor's friend's wife. And another 2 unknown persons. After initial FIR, victim changed her statement and she said she raped by only Ashish Kapoor. And also she alleged that after this incident, outside washroom, that Ashish Kapoor's friend's wife also insulted that victim. And here the questions are, several questions are there. Number 1 question is, police initially said that the call from that house party, from that house, was made by a woman. And this woman was Ashish Kapoor's friend's wife. Police said that. And the victim was saying that Ashish Kapoor's friend's wife also assaulted her outside washroom. He said inside washroom, Ashish Kapoor assaulted her and raped her. And outside
assaulted her and raped her. And outside washroom, Ashish Kapoor's friend's wife assaulted her. If the victim statement is that, then police is saying Ashish Kapoor's friend wife herself made a PCR call and informed police about this matter. Number one question. Number two is that the victim said on her statement that all acts are recorded in a video. Video recording was done, but police has not found any type of video, any type of footage. So where is that video? Who shoot that video? And who were the two unknown person? Are they Ashish Kapoor friends or are they victim friends? Victim said on her statement that victim met Ashish Kapoor on Instagram, and she met first time to Ashish Kapoor in Delhi, and they met in Delhi house party. There are some friends of Ashish Kapoor's there, and there are some friends of Ashish Kapoor, that victim there. Who are there? Who are their friends presented in this very day? And Ashish Kapoor friends and his friend's wife's role is also questionable, because Ashish Kapoor wife made PCR call, and alleged by victim Ashish Kapoor wife also assaulted her. So her role are under investigation, and Ashish Kapoor's friend's role is also under investigation. Now the update is Ashish Kapoor arrested in Pune from Pune by Delhi police, and they took him from Pune to Delhi. And we know that Ashish Kapoor, after the incident, Ashish Kapoor left Delhi and he came to Mumbai first. Then he got to know police is searching for, police is finding him. So he left Mumbai and he went to Goa. Police was tracking Ashish Kapoor. Then Ashish Kapoor left Goa and he went to Pune. And at last, the Delhi police came to Pune and they arrested Ashish Kapoor from Pune. And now they take him to Delhi from Pune. This is the latest update.
Yes, Meenakshi, thank you very much for getting us those details. Quickly moving across to some more breaking news that's coming in. The Hindustan Aeronautics Limited will deliver the first two Tejas Mk1A aircraft in October 2025, marking a slight delay from the previously announced September timeline. Big defense boost to India. The Hindustan Aeronautics Limited is all set to deliver the first two Tejas Mk1A fighter jets to the Indian Air Force in October 2025, slightly delayed from the initial September timeline. The delay is attributed to engine supply issues, with HAL received only two General Electric F404I and 20 engines so far, now short of the expected 12 engines by year end. Despite this setback, the two aircraft are already assembled and will undergo firing trials this month before the normal delivery. The Tejas Mk1A is an advanced variant of the light combat aircraft LCA Tejas, featuring upgraded avionics, electronic warfare capabilities and modern weapon integration. The delivery, ladies and gentlemen, is a part of a larger contract for 83 aircraft with an additional order for 97 jets worth rupees 67,000 crore approved by the government. Ishan is joining me live from the national capital on that. Ishan, please share more details on the big Atmanirbhar Bharat push that India's defense sector will be getting by the year 2025, October to be specific. All right, we seem to have lost that line with Ishan. We'll try getting him back, but this is a big Atmanirbhar Bharat push. A big push for India's defense sector to the Indian Air Force, with Hindustan Aeronautics Limited all set to deliver the first two Tejas Mk1A fighter jets to the Indian Air Force in the year 2025. This is going to happen in just some moments from now, some months from now, I beg your pardon. October is the date that has been given. Ishan is joining me live on the phone line on that. Ishan, please share more details on the delivery of the Hindustan Aeronautics Limited of the two Tejas Mk1A fighter jets.
The delivery of these Mark 1A Tejas aircraft were to be done in October. However, due to delays in testing, the same have now been postponed to they were earlier to be delivered in September. However, now the deliveries have been scheduled to October. These delays are primarily due to the engines being received in a delayed fashion from GE. The S404 IN20 engines have been seen to be facing significant delays from GE, and these delays are causing the HCL to not be able to deliver the aircraft on time. These delays have been caused. Now the two aircraft which are fully assembled are undergoing testing. They will be undergoing fire testing and electronic testing shortly. And once these testings are completed, they will be delivered to the IAF now in October 2025.
Right. Thank you very much, Ishan, for getting us those details. Moving on, BJP MP and West Bengal BJP President Samik Bhattacharya lauded the centre's GST reforms and said GST reforms have been brought in for the relief of countrymen. Listen in.
देखिए, जीएसटी रिफॉर्म्स देशवासियों के लिए किया गया है। पूरा दुनिया आज ये देख रहे हैं जो कोविड उत्तर काल में जब सारे विश्व की अर्थव्यवस्था चरमरा गया है, उसमें भारत अपने शक्ति से कैसे खड़ा है। ना तो कोई सोशल वेलफेयर प्रोजेक्ट बंद हुआ, 140 करोड़ देशवासियों का पास ये सरकार खड़ा रहा, 80 करोड़ जनता को मुफ्त में अनाज मिला कोविड काल से, और उसका बाद में इतना बड़ा राहत। ये जो डोमेस्टिक इकोनॉमी हमारा है उसमें और तेज आएगा, कंपटीशन बढ़ेगा और सारे कीमती घटेगी तो परचेजिंग कैपेसिटी बढ़ेगा। तो पूरा विषय को लेकर अगर देखा जाए तो भारतीय अर्थव्यवस्था एक नया जान फूंक दिया नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने।
Ladies and gentlemen, monsoon fury has unleashed devastation across the country, from the fertile plains of Punjab to the hills of Himachal and the valleys of Kashmir. Nature's wrath is everywhere. In Punjab, villages lie submerged and farmland destroyed, leaving lakhs displaced. Rescue and relief operations are in full swing, but thousands of villages are waterlogged. Hectares of farmland have been destroyed and lakhs have been displaced from their homes. In Himachal and Jammu, flash floods have triggered landslides, leading to Army and CRPF personnel airdropping supplies via choppers. And here in the national capital, connectivity is severely disrupted as waterlogging causes kilometers of long jam. Gursimran is joining us live. Gursimran, where are you at this point in time, and what is the situation on ground like right now in Jammu?
Right now we are reporting from the Gakhrial area of the Jammu. It is in the Akhnur sector, where a major portion of land has been washed away as the waters of Chenab has now breached into the civilian areas, breaking the barricades. And now what has happened that a total of 27 villages that are in the border area of Pragwal, they have completely been disconnected. Over 25,000 people, they have been disconnected from this very area. What has happened that the Chenab has actually reversed its flow. It has entered into the civilian areas, and now the people have no other option but then to risk their life to cross the Chenab river using the tubes and the tires that they have with them. Otherwise they have no option. We'll try to speak to some locals as well. चाचा, आपका नाम?
मेरा नाम रामपाल।
राम जी, कितनी ज्यादा दिक्कत जो है इस इलाका टूटने से हुई है?
दिक्कत सभी इलाकों में है, इस इलाके में क्या है?
यहाँ पे ये पूरा आगे वाला टूट गया,
पूरा बंद है, सब कुछ बंद है।
जाना हो तो इसको पार करके तैर के जाना,
और जहाँ वो दरिया के पार से उधर से जाना पड़ता है, जहाँ से जाना पड़ता है।
यहाँ पे कोई नहीं है
और कोई रेंज नहीं है इधर का जाने का।
So you see that the people are struggling. Some people on the other side, you see from the Pragwal, they are waiting on the other side because some came on the tractors because it is not a motorable road, so small vehicles or the SUVs cannot come. It is only tractor that the people from the nearby villages they had come to this point. But beyond this point, the connectivity is zero and they cannot come to this side, and that is why it is really very concerning for the authorities. We'll try to speak to some locals as well. Sir, मुझे बताइए कितनी ज़्यादा वहाँ परेशानी परेशानी है, कितने लोग फंसे हैं आप?
सर आपको बता नहीं सकते कितनी परेशानी है वहाँ पे हर चीज़ की शॉर्टेज आ रही है धीरे धीरे। एलपीजी की प्रॉब्लम आ रही, लाइट नहीं है, खाने का भी प्रॉब्लम आ रहा है। अभी स्टॉक जो था वो ख़त्म होने पे है। तो अब तो 3-4 दिन से तो ये रोड बंद है। जब तक रोड नहीं बनेगा तब तक सफाई नहीं जाएगी।
There is no solution other than building a road, and the way the level of the water here is, they have no other option. On the other side, I'll request Ashu to move to those visuals, that the locals, those who are risking their lives to cross the Chenab to go to the other side, because they have no other option other than this, because the flow of the water is such that they cannot go by walking or by any vehicle, and that's why they are getting submerged up to neck level. That is what the visuals are showing. I'm requesting Ashu to zoom in if we can show you that. See the level that to which these all people, they have got submerged into the water. It is almost to their neck level that they are getting submerged, and now they have to cross this river Chenab. This is a mighty river Chenab that they have to cross. I'll request Ashu to pan out to show you the full depth of the full length of this river that they have to cross. First we will show you the full length of this river that is there, and this is the entire area. This is the entire area that is there. I'll request Ashu to keep showing you that they have to cross, and now I'll request Ashu to zoom into that, how these people, they are risking their life. They are actually submerged up to the neck level. The water is up to their neck level, and they are crossing this mighty river Chenab to go to the other side. So this is the situation that has become. I'll request Ashu to shift to the other people, those who are also crossing from the river Chenab, because it is only risking their life, but they have no other option than to risk their life and to move from one side to another, because the road connectivity has totally been washed away with the floods that have taken place in this very area of the Gadkhal and the nearby areas. Other than this, the people have the option. You see that what is the situation that any time that the water level, if it goes up, it is going to risk their lives. Though the locals with the tubes, they are also here to help the others, but this is only the temporary arrangement which could risk their life any time. So these are the visuals that are emerging from the rear areas, from the areas that are far off, close to the borders, but have actually received the major dent from the river Chenab, actually changing its route and entering the civilian areas.
Right, Goswami, thank you very much for getting us those details. And even as authorities scramble to restore normalcy amidst the monsoon mayhem, take a look at some of these ground reports.
We are here today at Mayur Vihar, and as of today morning, the water level in Yamuna has risen to 207.4 meters as compared to yesterday of 206.9 meters. We are going to show you the surrounding here. Now, this right here is the metro line which connects to the Mayur Vihar metro station around 100-150 meters away. This is the water situation. We are going to show you. You can see the trees are partially submerged. The bark part is almost underwater. You can only see the leaves part. You can also see the water level, understand how deep it is by the markings of the pillar. This is rising dangerously after the water was released from the Hatnikund barrage at around 3.3 lakh cusecs, and a lot of people were evacuated from the low-lying riverbed areas, and this is where the evacuation camps are set. These are the evacuation camps where people are now forced to spend their time, because they lost a lot of their everyday items. Their homes are now partially underwater. The flood water has entered, and this is the current situation of the entire Delhi NCR as of now. The water level has reached 207.4 meters. We will continue to bring you the ground reports from all over Delhi NCR in this flood-like situation. Stay tuned. This is Shambhavi with Vijay S. Rawat on Republic TV.
Time for us to now slip into a short break. After the break, we're getting you details of what's costlier, what's cheaper after the mega GST reform announcement. Also after the break, details on the allegations and charges that have been pressed against cricketer Shikhar Dhawan on the illegal betting scam probe.
सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला। सिप जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो पतवारा हुआ रे, केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है। अरे मेरे राजा।
Here we didn't want to bring out the big charts because it had no chance of standing. Fortunately, we came armed with a little smaller chart. So it's 67%, so we're going to be charging a discounted reciprocal tariff of 34%, I think.
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला। सिप सिप जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप।
I choose a world where we dream, and the limit is the sky. And this world is my home where I'm living my best.
Mindfully crafted home decor fabrics. Sansar, a D-Decor brand. Live consciously.
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है। अरे मेरे राजा। मसाला।
Here we didn't want to bring out the big charts because it had no chance of standing. Fortunately, we came armed with a little smaller chart. So it's 67%, so we're going to be charging a discounted reciprocal tariff of 34%, I think. Today, the World Health Organization officially announced that
MDH की देगी मीरज,
देगी मिर्च का तड़का, अंग अंग फड़का।
MDH की देगी मीरज। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो पतवारा हुआ रे, केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरीडे।
I'm headed to the northern port city of Tianjin in China to cover the largest ever SCO summit in history. This would be the Prime Minister's first visit in 7 years since the border clashes began. Will the global South solidarity reset the equation with the West? Will there be a trilateral between India, Russia and China? Answers to all these questions and much more only on
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
our doctors, our nurses, our technicians, our medicines, our drugs, and drugs in the right sense, please, have become the flavor, have become the need of the entire world. It is incumbent upon all of us to ensure that we maintain that trust. It is incumbent, it is our duty as stakeholders, as participants in this journey in the Amrit Kal until 2047. We are all collectively committed to take this country to greater heights. In the next 2 years, we will be the world's third largest economy. By 2047, we will grow from a $4 trillion economy to a $30 trillion economy. We all have a role cut out in that. We all have our duties defined for us. It is the collective resolve and commitment of 1.4 billion Indians that powers this country, that makes us the world's fastest growing economy, that ensures even in Q1, in a highly volatile, uncertain, VUCA climate, geopolitical risks, India grows at 7.8%. And that is only possible when you have a decisive leader like Narendra Modi guiding and leading the country. It is only possible when our young Indians, full of talent, full of skills, the spirit to endure, work hard, work honestly to take the country forward. That is the strength of our democracy, because the world knows that India offers them fair and equal treatment. There is a rule of law, there are courts, there is a vibrant media, there is a parliament. India provides the world comfort and confidence as a vibrant democracy with demographic dividend of a young population, the demand that 1.4 billion Indians generate for goods and services, the decisive leadership that Mr. Narendra Modi, Honorable Prime Minister, provides. It is this collective bouquet of offerings that defines India, that defines the India growth story. And I think the icing on the India story was provided yesterday with the Diwali gift, as promised in the Independence Day address on 15th August by Prime Minister Modi. He delivers on whatever he promises. And I think yesterday's reform in indirect taxes, in GST, coming on the back of several initiatives.
Well, we have some pictures coming in of the Prime Minister of Singapore, Lawrence Wong, meeting the Prime Minister in the national capital to review robust and multifaceted cooperation between the two nations. And during this visit, the Singapore Prime Minister will also call on President Draupadi Murmu. And this visit is providing an opportunity for both the Prime Ministers to review the robust and multifaceted cooperation between the two nations, setting the path for future collaborations as well. And they will also engage on regional and international issues of mutual interest. Just a while back, Prime Minister Wong also met with External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar, and he spoke to Jaishankar on several issues, international issues of mutual interest. And External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar and other dignitaries also met Prime Minister Wong during the course of his 3-day visit to India. And the External Affairs Ministry said that the visit of Prime Minister Wong coincides with the 60th anniversary of India-Singapore diplomatic relations and reaffirms the continued commitment of both countries to further strengthen this partnership. And let me give you the highlights of the meeting between Prime Minister Wong and also External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar. After his meeting, he said, had a productive start to my visit in the national capital. He was also joined by overseas Singaporeans and friends of Singapore for a special SG60 reception. And after the reception, he met with External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar. And he called the talks with EAM as very, very productive. And he arrived on the national capital on Tuesday for a 3-day trip. In fact, Dr. S. Jaishankar also put out a social media post on his visit. We have Chandrakala also joining us live. Chandrakala, what's the significance, apart from the 60th anniversary of the bilateral ties, how significant is this visit of the Singapore Prime Minister to the national capital for a 3-day visit?
Well, the Singaporean Prime Minister here is in New Delhi for his first such visit after assuming office. Of course, he has also met Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Earlier, he has met External Affairs Minister. As we know that India and Singapore share a very, very important bilateral cooperation as far as the trade cooperation is also concerned. Of course, various key agreements are on card to be taking, are on card between the two countries to basically shore up ties in terms of green hydrogen, green energy, shipping, civil aviation and space. And of course, that he is being accompanied by 3 cabinet ministers right at this moment. He's on a 3-day trip to India. This is his first such visit to India after assuming office. He has met External Affairs Minister Dr. Jaishankar earlier today. He has also met Prime Minister Narendra Modi just a while ago. A very, very important visit coming at a very important time when it comes to India's cooperation with countries like Singapore, and of course the 60th anniversary as far as the bilateral cooperation is concerned between the two countries. Yes, coming at a very crucial time when a lot of geopolitical developments are underway, and India, Singapore are working towards bolstering ties as far as trade is concerned between the two countries. Over to you.
That's right, Chandrakala. Thank you for joining us with those details. Now shifting our focus to more breaking news coming in. This one from Karnataka, because Hindu seers and groups have written to Union Home Minister Amit Shah. Hindu seers have raised increasing attacks on Sanatan Dharma as well as Hindus. This is in the backdrop of the Dharmasthala hoax case, which Republic has exposed to you time and again. And all those hoax activists and YouTubers are now facing the heat. And parallelly, Hindu seers have also raised concerns on increasing attacks on Sanatan Dharma. There you can see, this is the picture of the Hindu seers meeting the Union Home Minister Amit Shah, expressing their angst over the rising attacks on Sanatan Dharma as well as Hindus. Now this comes in the backdrop of the Dharmasthala case, which has largely been nothing but a hoax, because apart from a couple of locations, no skeletons have been unearthed. In fact, those skeletons which were unearthed as well have been sent to the FSL and the reports are awaited. And to give us more insights about their meeting, we have Rajshekhar Swamiji, a Hindu seer, joining us live on this broadcast. A very good afternoon to you, Rajshekhar Swamiji. Help us understand your meeting with the Union Home Minister. What are the concerns that you flagged with him?
Yeah, now we going to the under SIT investigation. We do this another investigation for the Central Affairs Minister Amit Bhai Shah. हमने उसका पास हम गया, जाने के बाद उन्होंने हमको टाइम दिया. वो टाइम के बारे में हमने जो इसका अंदर षड्यंत्र हुआ, वो षड्यंत्र बाहर आने के लिए NIA इन्वेस्टिगेशन होना चाहिए बोल के हमने सम्मानीय गृह मंत्री अमित भाई शाह का पास हमने अपील किया. ये अपील के बारे में उन्होंने सकारात्मक आंसर हमको दिया. जो अभी SIT इन्वेस्टिगेशन हो रहा है, क्यों आपका अंदर डाउट आ रहा है, तो हमने बोल दिया ये विचार जो चल रहा है ये दिल्ली तक पहुंच गया. दिल्ली का बाहर पूरी राष्ट्र का बाहर इसका विचार चल गया. वो तो हलचल चलने की समय में भी हमारी जो सद्भक्त जो रहता है उनका ऊपर एक डाउट आ रहा है. क्यों ऐसा विचार जो जग में फैला हुआ है, वो फैला होने के बाद इस समस्या को, धर्मस्थल को हटाने के लिए अलग अलग तरीका का षड्यंत्र बनाया. वो षड्यंत्र बाहर आने का बोल के हमने अमित भाई शाह का पास हमने विनंती किया.
राजशेखर स्वामी जी हमारे साथ जुड़े रहिए, क्योंकि हमारे एग्जीक्यूटिव एडिटर निरंजन इज ऑल्सो जॉइनिंग अस. वो भी आपसे प्रश्न पूछेंगे. यस निरंजन, प्लीज गो अहेड.
With me, that is why I just wanted to ask him about the letter. So essentially, Vajradehi Swamiji is live with us. This is Rajshekhar Ananda Swamiji, and I have the letter that has been written, and I have about 8 seers who have written this letter basically, Deepak. So there are 8 seers who have signed the letter, and they have met Union Home Minister Amit Shah yesterday. We have those pictures also playing out. These are exclusive pictures, by the way, so we'll use a watermark on that. But the question is, स्वामी जी, आपने अमित शाह जी से क्या पूछा, आपका मांग क्या थी? क्योंकि इस लेटर में आपने एक स्पेशल लॉ का भी मांग किया है. यू आस्क्ड फॉर अनदर लॉ, अ स्पेशल लेजिस्लेशन.
एनआईए इन्वेस्टिगेशन को हमने मना किया, जो क्योंकि ये विचार जो चल रहा है पूरी जग में दरअसल विचारधारा चल रहा है, वो पूरी धर्मस्थल के बारे में एकदम उसको डाउट में फैलाया. तो ये डाउट क्यों है, हमने क्यों इसमें इसका विचार गृह मंत्री का पास रखा है, सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट अमित भाई शाह का पास क्यों रखा है, बोलेंगे तो ये जो विचार आया पूरी दिल्ली में, ये विचार का बारे में उधर बैठक हुआ. वो जो लेफ्टिस्ट जो है उनका पास भी एक विचार चल रहा है, और इसके ऊपर बाहर देश से क्यों इसको इकोनॉमिकली पावर मिला, उसका विचार का बारे में भी नेशनल इन्वेस्टिगेशन टीम उसका जांच करना चाहिए बोल के हमने अमित शाह का पास हमने हमारा विनंती रखा है.
आपका ये जो
हमको आंसर दिया.
हाँ जी, नहीं, आपका ये जो लेटर में आपने ये भी लिखा है कि यू हैव रिटन अबाउट यूट्यूबर्स और ऑनलाइन प्लेटफॉर्म्स के बारे में आपने लिखा है. मैं हमारे दर्शकों को बता देता हूँ, ये जो लेटर है, बाय द वे द seers have written to Amit Shah, and I have the letter. The pictures are on your screen of them meeting the Union Home Minister. This is a very significant meeting, ladies and gentlemen, that many Latvian channels will not show you because they're cut off from the reality. Now, after the Dharmasthala hoax, many Hindu seers have felt enough is enough, and they have met the Union Home Minister. And among the demands that they have placed in front of the Union Home Minister, one of them is to ensure that in the digital era, a new and equally dangerous form of atrocity has arisen. Certain YouTubers, vloggers, social media influencers have repeatedly mocked, insulted, defamed our revered Munis, Acharyas and Swamijis through derogatory videos, misinformation and sensationalism. Such content spreads like wildfire, causing immense harm to dignity of revered saints, to Hindus, to Hinduism. Saying freedom of expression cannot be allowed to become freedom for defamation. Freedom of defamation. ये जो हुआ है धर्मशाला के स्टोरी में, वज्रदेही स्वामी जी, राजशेखर स्वामी जी, ये देखिए धर्मशाला में एक यूट्यूबर का वीडियो, और लोग ये भी बोल रहे हैं कि इसमें पॉलिटिकल पार्टी का इन्वॉल्वमेंट है. ये यूट्यूबर जो है इसको पैसे देते हैं. यहाँ पे ये भी बताया जा रहा है कि पैसा दुबई से आया. ईडी ने अभी इन्वेस्टिगेशन शुरू की है. आपने यूट्यूबर्स और जो इन्फ्लुएंसर्स के बारे में ये जो चिट्ठी में लिखा है, थोड़ा हमारे दर्शकों को बताइए, आपने क्या देखा है इस धर्मशाला एपिसोड में?
धर्मस्थला एपिसोड में जो चर्चा हुई है, समीर बोल के एक आदमी मतीयवादी विचारधारा रख के दूत नाम से इन्होंने ये वीडियो करके ये बोगस फैलाया. तो इसकी वजह से हमने सोचा ये पूरी, शायद उन लोग बोलते हैं 250 यूट्यूबर्स ऑन टाइम रिकॉर्ड टू द धर्मस्थला केस. we know, understanding, हमने जो ये विचारधारा गृह मंत्री का पास रखा है, जो सोशल मीडिया प्लेटफॉर्म मिसयूज होता है, वो मिसयूज होने के कारण से धर्मस्थल का नाम खराब होता रहता है. तो इसकी विचारधारा में एक कानून होना चाहिए, क्योंकि उसको किधर से भी उसको इंटरप्ट होने के कारण से ये कानून मजबूत होना चाहिए बोल के हमने साथ में संत नियोग गृह मंत्री का पास ये विचारधारा रखा है. इसकी विचार के बारे में सम्मान्य गृह मंत्री जी ने बोला, हम सकारात्मक विचार का बारे में हम सोचेंगे, ये विचारधार हम कैबिनेट मीटिंग में लाएंगे, उसका विचारधारा का बारे में हम क्या क्या आगे करना है वो जरूरी हम करेंगे बोल के हमको सम्मान्य गृह मंत्री जी अमित भाई शाह ने हमको सकारात्मक आंसर दिया है।
ओके फाइनली मेरा आखिरी क्वेश्चन है यहाँ पे आपने स्पेसिफिकली भी लिखा है कि प्रोटेक्टिव लॉ ऑन द लाइंस ऑफ SC/ST प्रिवेंशन ऑफ अट्रॉसिटीज एक्ट. सो बेसिकली seers, Hindu seers are fighting back, and these are a group of seers who have met essentially from Karnataka following the Dharmasthala hoax. I have the names of these seers: Jagat Guru Sri Vachanananda Swamiji, and then Mallikarjuna Swamiji, Atmaram Swamiji, Dharmasena Swamiji, Jagat Guru Siddharameshwara Swamiji, Jagat Guru Purushottamananda Swamiji, Rajshekarananda Swamiji, who is also live with us. He himself has met Amit Shah, and Sri Saurabh Sen Swamiji. अब आखिरी आपने यहाँ पे लिखा है, आपका लास्ट पॉइंट इस लेटर में है कि सनातन धर्म की प्रोटेक्शन चाहिए, प्रोटेक्ट द डिग्निटी ऑफ सनातन धर्म along with saints. We are very sure of your great leadership, that of our beloved Prime Minister Modi ji, that you will deliver, who have delivered on their promise of Ram Mandir Article 370. You are all our saviors. You are our only saviors. क्या आपको लगता है, मैं ओपन लास्ट क्वेश्चन आपको एक लास्ट क्वेश्चन पूछ के मैं आपको छोड़ देता हूँ स्वामी जी. ओपन क्वेश्चन है, क्या आपको लगता है कि जहाँ पे आप बैठे हैं कांग्रेस की सरकार है, क्या आपको लगता है कांग्रेस की सरकार का भी हाथ है इस धर्मस्थला एपिसोड में?
तो केंद्र में जो हमको ये विचारधारा का बारे में डाउट है, वो जो दिल्ली में मीटिंग किया है, दिल्ली में मीटिंग होने के बाद जो लेफ्टिस्ट साथ में रहता है उसमें एक MP का नाम आ रहा है, उसका विचार का बारे में जो षड्यंत्र हुआ है वो षड्यंत्र किधर से आया हमको मालूम नहीं है. SIT उसका बारे में पूरी तनिखा नहीं कर पा रहेंगे क्योंकि वो स्टेट का वजह से हो रहा है. तो सम्मान्य हमारा स्टेट का गृह मंत्री जी ने भी बोला है, वो स्केलेटन का जो विचारधारा है उसके बारे में हमने SIT किया है. तो हमको ये डाउट है, तो क्यों इसकी वजह से गलत फैला रहा है, तो उसकी वजह से षड्यंत्र क्या है, कौन इसका अंदर है, किसका हाथ है, हादस क्यों करता है, वो उसका विचार के बारे में पूरी जग.
Okay, we lost his audio there. We'll leave it at that. Handing it back to you for now, Deepak. We accessed the exclusive pictures and the letter. The story is getting bigger because as the investigation now goes into the ED domain, the financial angle, the money trail becomes key. And if there is an element of foreign funding that's proven, the story is going to explode. Okay? I'm handing it back to you for now. Swamiji, thank you for joining us. I'll thank you at this point. Okay. That was Vajradehi Swamiji, also Rajshekar Swamiji, who is joining us on his meeting with Amit Shah. Thank you for joining us. Back to you for now.
God bless.
That's right. Thank you, Niranjan, for giving us a perspective on this particular breaking news update. Now, the key demands, as mentioned by the seers, is for a legal and a protective framework similar to the SC/ST Prevention of Atrocities Act, fast-tracking justice, a digital platform accountability, immediate action on Dharmasthala case. These are the key demands that have been made by the seers before the Union Home Minister during their meeting. Moving on, viewers, Union Minister for Railways, Information and Broadcasting, Ashwini Vaishnaw, hailed the GST reforms and highlighted the benefits of the tax reforms. Listen in.
It's a matter of great joy for all of us that Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji has decided to reduce the GST rates for practically everything that is used in the lives of our middle class families and our low income families. Starting from food items to items which are used in day-to-day life, to students, items which are required by our students, to the items which are used in our homes, whether it is consumer electronics, small cars, scooters, everything is now going to see a lower GST rate from the first day of Navratri. I would like to thank Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji for this big step, a major reform which is going to help each and every family in our country. Thank you. I would like to thank Honorable Finance Minister Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman ji for this major step, major rationalization of GST rates.
We are shifting our focus to Assam. The All Assam Students Association and the Students Union has launched a hunger strike demanding eviction and deportation of illegal immigrants, along with action against radical elements in the state. And today's protest is part of a month-long agitation program with demonstrations being staged across Assam. It marks a significant escalation in the ongoing agitation led by the All Assam Students Union, as members have launched a hunger strike. And their demand is the eviction and deportation of illegal immigrants, which is a long-standing and a very deeply emotive issue in Assam's socio-political landscape. And the protesters are also calling for stringent action against all those radical elements that they claim are threatening the peace and also demographic balance of the state. It's no longer just the crackdown by the administration. It's become a people's movement. It's become a students' movement right now. And as you can see on your screens, the All Assam Students Union is currently on a hunger strike. And this is part of this union's broader month-long agitation program, which has already seen demonstrations and rallies across various districts in Assam, from Guwahati to Dibrugarh and even Tezpur to Barpeta. Student leaders and supporters have taken to the streets in large numbers, sending a strong and a very united message to both the state and the central governments. And the union's leadership has also reiterated that this movement is not just about immediate demands, but about safeguarding the identity, the culture and constitutional rights of the indigenous people of Assam. And they have warned that if their concerns are not addressed with sincerity and urgency, the protests could intensify. We'll have to wait and watch whether their demands are accepted or not. Now, shifting our focus, a massive landslide occurred at Gagan Bawara Ghat in Gagan Bawara National Highway.
1 minute brought to you by Canara Bank. Together we can.
And this landslide happened on a highway connecting Sindhudurg to Kolhapur in Maharashtra. And due to this, the ghat has been closed for traffic since 8 a.m. Debris removal work is currently underway and the landslide is expected to be cleared soon. Cut off by floods in Jammu, a 9-month pregnant woman in labour at Ramkot Samba was saved after troops trekked 18 kilometers through rain and darkness to coordinate an army aviation helicopter evacuation. She was airlifted safely to military hospital Samba. In a parallel development, White Knight Corps has also launched swift HADR ops, evacuating civilians including children and 2 in critical condition. Heavy rain triggered landslides were reported near Jangtown in Arunachal Pradesh's Tawang district, blocking key stretches of strategic roads that are critical supply line to the frontier areas. However, the Border Roads Organization restored the traffic movement, ensuring uninterrupted movement of traffic flow. With that, it's time for a quick break. On the other side, massive GST rate cuts, consumer goods, farm products, cement and more set to get cheaper from 22nd September. Along with that, Dalal Street cheers major GST reforms as markets open in green. Rupee strengthens by 17 paise against US dollar. Stay tuned.
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है? अरे मेरे राजा,
13,000 placements last year. At Amity, we are committed to nurturing passionate, hardworking and proactive professionals.
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
I choose a world where we dream and the limit is the sky, and this world is my home where I'm living my best.
Mindfully crafted home decor fabrics. Sansar, a decor brand. Live consciously.
Our pure Shahi Paneer Masala. Delicious, healthy, every day.
Yesterday, a coward decided to take our 8-year-old son Fletcher away from us. Because of their actions, we will never be allowed to hold him, talk to him, play with him, and watch him grow into the wonderful young man he was on the path to becoming.
Justice for Ralph! Justice for Ralph! Justice for Ralph! Justice for Ralph! Justice.
Families in Minneapolis are mourning. Our Greater Annunciation Fellowship is mourning. Our entire city is united in grief, and at the same time, based on this incredible group of people.
आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे, केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार, विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है? अरे मेरे राजा।
Here we didn't want to bring out the big charts because it had no chance of standing. Fortunately, we came armed with a little smaller chart. So 67%, so we're going to be charging a discounted reciprocal tariff of 34%, I think. Trump से बात हमेशा इसलिए करता आया, सीखता आया कि वे राष्ट्रहित के सर्वोपरि रखना है। Today, the World Health Organization officially announced that this is a global pandemic. We have been in frequent contact with our allies, and we are marshaling the full power.
During an interview, American economist Richard Wolff called out the US administration for attacking India with tariffs and shooting itself in the foot by doing so. Wolff said that India is central for
Massive GST rate cuts, consumer goods, farm products, cement, and much more to get cheaper from 22nd September. The Street cheers major GST reforms as markets open in green. Rupee strengthens by 17 paise against the dollar. India battles record rainfall triggered flash floods. Landslides reported in Himachal's Kullu and Kishtwar in Jammu and Kashmir. Actor Ashish Kapoor arrested in Pune on alleged rape charges. Investigation is currently underway. ED probes betting app scam. This investigation picks pace. Cricketer Shikhar Dhawan summoned for questioning today. Putin's strong message to Trump, says won't engage in foreign intervention. Hello and thank you for tuning into Republic TV viewers. I'm Deepak Suresh Kumar, and first up we have some big breaking news coming in the Ashish Kapoor case, because the police has got 2 days custody, and sources have also confirmed that they have accessed few more videos, the investigation on which is currently underway. This is the Ashish Kapoor alleged case of rape, and the police have said that the complainant had met Ashish Kapoor on social media and alleged that the incident took place at a party in the national capital in the second week of August. And now the Delhi police has gotten 2 days custody of Ashish Kapoor because the alleged incident happened here in the national capital, and he has been arrested for rape. Ashish Kapoor is now in police custody. Few more videos have been accessed, and in fact we have Soumya also joining us live to give us more insights. Soumya, 2 days custody for Delhi police, and a few more videos are also accessed. They are being investigated. What more do you have on the case?
Yes, well, see, Deepak, it has been made very clear by the sources here
that the Delhi police has got 2 days custody of Ashish Kapoor. He has been arrested by the Delhi police and he's going to be in the custody for next 2 days. And they have confirmed that after the custody gets over, he will be produced before the district magistrate. Not just that, certain videos are in question and that was raised even by the victim in this case. Now the sources within the police have also confirmed that they have accessed few videos. The actual number we are not aware of at the moment, but the investigating team in this particular case has accessed few videos and they are focusing on these videos for further investigation and questioning of Ashish Kapoor. So these are the details that we have picked up and with that the police has also hinted that few other people have also been named in the FIR, the details of which have not been confirmed yet, but they have assured that other than Ashish Kapoor, few other people have also been named in this FIR once the complaint was registered by the victim in this case.
Soumya, help us with the allegations leveled by the complainant. For our viewers who are just tuning in, help us with those details.
See, Deepak, the complainant, the victim in this case has alleged that she was assaulted by Ashish Kapoor. She also had initially hinted that she was assaulted by a friend's wife, Ashish Kapoor's friend's wife as well. So these are few of the complaints raised by the victim in this case, and on that basis the FIR has been registered. The police has the custody for Ashish Kapoor for the next 2 days. Now the matter is moving really on a very fast pace. The investigation is on full force. They are investigating from all the possible angles and they're taking help of the footages and the videos that they have accessed from that particular day when the incident happened. And now all the vested parties are being questioned into the case.
That's right. Soumya, thank you for joining me with those details. The case is getting bigger and now more videos have been accessed. And what we understand is that all those who are present at the party will also be questioned. Now let's shift our focus to the Enforcement Directorate's latest update, because it has unearthed dummy accounts and mule accounts being used to route betting money with deposits and withdrawals happening within hours. And several Benami accounts have also been identified. But by the time agencies trace the VPAs and send directions to banks, the funds will vanish. And the Enforcement Directorate says it has gathered open source intelligence on celebrities, influencers, media houses and advertising agencies promoting these illegal apps. And other popular betting platforms under investigation include Fairplay, Mahadev, Book and Lotus 365. But what's shocking is the sophistication of the financial trail, viewers. These aren't just small-time gamblers. We're talking about an entire networks of mule and Benami accounts, many created using fake or stolen KYC data. Funds are being deposited and withdrawn in just a matter of hours and sometimes within minutes as well. And that's what is making it incredibly difficult for the Enforcement Directorate to freeze the assets on time. And most of these platforms are leveraging on virtual payment address or VPAs to collect and disperse money, often under the guise of legitimate businesses, sometimes even posing as educational services, e-commerce platforms or tech startups. And by the time the authorities flag the UPI IDs and the VPAs and also notify banks, the accounts are either drained or deactivated. This is a major hindrance for the Enforcement Directorate. And the ED has now reportedly used an open source intelligence to track down connections to celebrities, social media influencers, digital marketing agencies, and even some of the mainstream media houses. We have Shravan Sen also joining us live, our senior editor. Shravan, the sophisticated financial trail, mule accounts, and also, their VPAs and immediate withdrawals and deposits are making it very difficult for the Enforcement Directorate. How is the ED looking at as far as the alternatives are concerned?
Well, in fact, Deepak, the details that we have with us right now is of the investigation that has been carried out so far. Why exactly has the Enforcement Directorate really stepped in and how they have done it so far? It's very interesting, Deepak, because it turns out that ED officers themselves, they tried registering in these very apps. Dummy accounts were basically created. The reality is this, that this is not limited to some sort of a fantasy game, but there is also involvement of money, there is also an involvement of betting, and that's the reason why the Enforcement Directorate believes that there is prima facie, there is a case that has been cut out. Now, interestingly, there are mule accounts through which the money was essentially being diverted. In fact, it turns out from the investigation that has been carried out that there are not just one, there are a dozen such applications that were available on various platforms. In fact, I'm given to understand Google as well as Apple has now been roped in. They've also written to them seeking some sort of a help with regards to perhaps putting an end to the advertisements that were taking place on their platforms. Because if you remember, during any major cricketing event, or for that matter any other sporting event, most of these apps would have put out massive advertisements. In fact, certain media houses which have got money to the tune of about 50 crore rupees have also now come under the scanner of the Enforcement Directorate. What I'm given to understand from top sources within the Enforcement Directorate is that all of them, there was an ecosystem that was in place. You would have the media houses being paid by these applications, and you had celebrities, their faces endorsing these very applications. It turns out, based on this kind of an advertisement, they were getting a large inflow of people who were playing these apps. It wouldn't have been a problem had it been only limited to some sort of a fantasy game, but the very involvement of money, there was also high stakes involved in it. That's when people started losing their money, and they believed that the algorithm was basically designed in such a manner that it would have only benefited the company, which would essentially mean that you and I, if we were participating in it, there was a very high chances that we would have actually lost the money, because the algorithm was essentially designed in that manner so that people actually who participate in it do not make any money, but rather they actually lose their money. In fact, there's also a pattern that has basically emerged that in the initial few games you would have actually earned some money, gaining the confidence of the player that there is a high possibility that you would end up making money, but subsequently as you continue playing, there is a high possibility that you would start losing money. It was almost becoming like an addiction in some cases, and that is the reason why there's a large amount of money that was actually lost. What we do not know at this point in time, Deepak, is that whether at all, what is the cumulative figure that the Enforcement Directorate is looking at in terms of the losses that have been incurred by various people who participated or registered in these apps. But there is a big role that these celebrities do actually play. Had it not been for the celebrities, that perhaps the legitimacy to this apps would not have been there. The legitimacy was given only because of the fact that you have had top celebrities participating in it and giving their face on these very applications.
Thank you so much, Shravan, for tracking those details. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the latest coming in now. Shikhar Dhawan, the cricketer, also being summoned in the online betting app scandal case that has been on the ED's radar for some time now. Meanwhile, moving on to a quick report on Union Minister of Railways and Information Broadcasting, Ashwini Vaishnav's statements hailing the GST reforms and highlighting the benefits of the tax reforms. Listen in.
It's a matter of great joy for all of us that Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji has decided to reduce the GST rates for practically everything that is used in the lives of our middle class families and our low income families. Starting from food items to items which are used in day-to-day life, to students, items which are required by our students, to the items which are used in our homes, whether it is consumer electronics, small cars, scooters, everything is now going to see a lower GST rate from the first day of Navratri. I would like to thank Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji for this big step, a major reform which is going to help each and every family in our country. Thank you. I would like to thank Honorable Finance Minister Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman ji for this major step, major rationalization of GST rates.
Meanwhile, the Goods and Service Tax Council in the 56th meeting yesterday, which lasted for nearly 10 hours, has cleared the next generation of reforms under the 8-year-old indirect tax regime. This has effectively paved the way for a broad two-slab structure of 5% and 18%, with a demerit rate of 40% rate only for super luxury, or also known as sin or demerit goods. The markets opened in the green today. Sensex jumped nearly 900 points. Nifty was also up by 200 points in what is believed to be the biggest indirect tax reform, and what is now shaping up to be one of the biggest tax reform years of this quarter of the century. First, in February, we had the direct tax reform with a waiver of 12 lakh and under salary to zero, and now we have 2 new slabs. Meanwhile, Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman also said that these reforms have been carried out with a focus on the common man, that every tax on the common man's daily use item has gone down through a rigorous review, and in the most cases, the rates have come down dramatically. Labor-intensive industries have been given a good support. Farmers and agriculture sector as well as the health sector will also benefit from these rationalization reforms. Key drivers of the economy will be given more prominence. Let's listen into what Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman said just moments after the GST Council meeting concluded last evening.
Tax that were announced yesterday, Prime Minister Narendra Modi always fulfills promises made, and on 15th August he had announced that there is a big Diwali bonanza in GST, and we have yesterday seen that what we thought could be big has turned out to be the biggest ever reform that India has seen since independence. This has many dimensions. Consumers will benefit in a very big way with the reduction in taxes across the board on almost all items of our day-to-day needs: pharmaceuticals, food products, textiles, footwear. I was going through the list, it's all-encompassing. And the amount of changes made in process and procedure will contribute also to the ease of doing business. These lower rates will support growth of demand, and industry's scale of operation in the country will grow by leaps and bounds. Greater demand will lead to greater investment, greater jobs, and the virtuous cycle of growth will get a leg up, will get a big boost. The virtuous cycle of growth will get a big boost from the Diwali gift given by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. This will contribute to ease of living, better quality of life for 1.4 billion citizens, 140 करोड़ भारतवासियों के लिए ये तोहफा नवरात्रि के पहले दिन 22 सितंबर से लागू होगा, और बड़ी उमंग और उत्साह के साथ पूरा देश आज खुशियां मना रहा है, और इसका प्रभाव भारत की अर्थव्यवस्था पर होगा। भारत में डिमांड बढ़ेगी, सेवाओं की और वस्तुओं के लिए बड़े रूप में बढ़त होगी, उसके मार्केट की बढ़त होगी, और मुझे पूरा विश्वास है ये एक पायदान है, ये एक मील का पत्थर साबित होगा भारत की विकसित भारत 2047 की यात्रा में, और स्वदेशी भारत को, भारत में स्वदेशी वस्तुओं को और आगे लेके जाने के लिए ये एक बहुत महत्वपूर्ण कदम होगा।
In the media center, the FM said that all the state finance ministers were agreeing to this, but now opposition is saying that if you had to bring it, you would have done it 8 years back. What do you have to say about that? The finance ministers have been agreeing, but opposition is creating politics on this.
Sadly, just like Mr. Rahul Gandhi does not understand that the world's fastest growing large economy at 7.8% growth in the first quarter is a matter of delight, joy and celebration, and calls India Mr. Rahul Gandhi calls India a dead economy, despite being the world's fastest growing large economy. This is the negative thinking of a certain set of people. And I condemn this kind of negativity. ये जो नकारात्मक सोच है, ये नकारात्मक सोच की वजह से विपक्ष की आज ये दुर्दशा बनी है और भारत की जनता आज पूरी तरीके से प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के साथ खड़ी है, उनको आशीर्वाद दे रही है, उनका धन्यवाद कर रही है।
Well, that was the first reaction coming in of Union Minister of Commerce and Industry, Piyush Goyal there, hailing the indirect tax reforms announced by the GST Council last evening. Joining me live also now on the broadcast for more analysis is renowned tax expert and former Vice President of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, Mr. Ved Jain. Good afternoon, sir. It's a great day, and we are analyzing the GST Council's maximum Diwali bonanza that the Prime Minister had earlier promised. Yesterday, we heard the Finance Minister saying that this entire rationalization scheme had nothing directly to do with the tariffs war with the United States per se. But however, experts are now saying that this will have a huge impact on the economy. If you can help our viewers understand how this rationalization is actually going to give a huge stimulus to the consumption-based economy that is India.
See, India has more than 140 crore population, and we are a mass consumption-based economy. And what this GST 2 reform, which are as a landmark and the revolutionary reform, has done is reduce the rate of GST drastically. And if you look at the advantage just from the numbers, 12% by and large has gone to 5%, and 28% has gone to 18%. And with the result that when you are buying an item at 112 rupees, it will now cost 105 rupees. If you are buying at 128 rupees, it will cost at 118 rupees, meaning thereby roughly 7 to 10% benefit you are getting while purchasing. Your cost is getting reduced with it. Now, with this, the consumption is going to up. Now, in economics, what we say, when the consumption increases, obviously the demand will increase. And if the demand will increase, naturally there will be more production. And if you require more production, then you will require more people to get employed and employment. And those people who get employed, their purchasing power increases because of the employment, and they do create a demand, and that's a multiplier effect. Now, to answer your questions, that how these reforms are going to have the benefit of challenge which the India has now got with the tariff imposed by the Donald Trump and for the US import. Now look at, now if my own demand goes up, my own level, now the effect which we will be having, maybe because in a shorter transition period, the export which we have been doing, some of the industry which were dependent on the export like textile or footwear or some diamond like this jewelry, etc. Now those peoples now will getting affected will obviously will be able to sell their product and create a demand within the India. And that will, I think, neutralize the effect of the tariff which Mr. Donald Trump has imposed on India. Now, looking to this reform, though this GST 2 reform has no linkage directly with what Mr. Donald Trump has done now, because these GST reforms were in the pipeline for the last more than 1.5 years. There were a lot of a committee constituted to look into the restructuring of the tax rates. Various reports have come up. Only thing is, by coincidence, this announcement is being made at a time when the impact of the Donald Trump tariff is likely to happen and to come on to some extent on Indian economy. So I am more than confident that the impact, which some people say that it can affect some of the some decibel point of the GDP, will get more than neutralized by the growth of the GDP, which we will have with the reduction in this GST rates. Because as you see the list of items, the way the rates have been reduced across the board, now 12% to 5%, and some of the items from 5% to 0%, and 28% to 18%. Now the type of demand it is going to create in the market. Now you see the television sets coming at 18%, air conditioner coming at 18%.
Yes, sir.
All food products, chocolate, ice cream, etc. Everything is coming at 5%.
Yes.
Now with this, the cost will go down, and obviously there will be more purchasing power, and that will create a demand for it.
Indeed, and thank you very much, sir, for articulating so beautifully on the multiplier effect that this GST rationalization is going to have on the economy. That's the time that we have in this bulletin. Thank you so much, sir, for bringing in your expert perspective on that matter. Meanwhile, ladies and gentlemen, let me once again bring to you the soundbite of Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, who announced the 2 GST rate structure along with the sin good slab last evening, which has not been influenced particularly by the US tariffs. And she had said that the centre has been working on these for over a year and a half. And we just heard Mr. Ved Jain there explaining how it is going to have an impact. But here is what the Finance Minister had to say on this very same question last evening.
Reduction from 18 or from 12 to 5%. I list out those items, all of whom have come to 5% from either 18 or from 12. Common man items such as hair oil, toilet soap, bars, shampoos, toothbrushes, toothpaste, bicycles, tableware, kitchenware and other household articles have all come to 5, whether they were in 18 or whether they were in 12. Similarly, reduction of GST from 5% to nil. 5 से 0 में जाने वाले items indicate कर रहा हूँ. Ultra high temperature milk, the UHT milk, chena or paneer, all the Indian breads will see nil rate. So roti kisi ke upar bhi, chapati or roti or paratha or whatever it is, they all come to nil. Reduction of GST from 12% or from 18% to 5%. इसमें फूड आइटम्स बहुत सारे हैं, नमकीन से भुजिया है, सॉसेस है, पास्ता है, इंस्टेंट नूडल्स है, चॉकलेट्स, कॉफ़ी, प्रिजर्व्ड मीट, कॉर्नफ्लेक्स, बटर, घी, ये सब 5% में आ रही है. फिर रिडक्शन फ्रॉम 28 टू 18%. इसमें मिडिल क्लास के एस्पिरेशंस मीट करने वाले बहुत सारी चीज़ हैं. एयर कंडीशनिंग मशीन्स, TVs which are over 32 inches, all TVs now at 18%. I want to underline, all TVs are now at 18%. Dishwashing machines, small cars, motorcycles equal to or less than 350 cc are all now coming to 18. Agriculture goods such as tractors, agricultural, horticultural and forestry machines for soil preparation or cultivation, harvesting or threshing machines, including straw or fodder balers, grass or hay movers, composting machines, etc., are all coming down from 12 to 5%. Reduction of GST from 12 to 5% on 12 specified biopesticides. Also from 12 to 5 is natural menthol. So किसान के लिए, उनके products के लिए जो वो उपयोग करते हैं, उन सब में it has come down. Again from 12 to 5, handicrafts and also labor intensive sectors. What are they? Handicrafts, marble, travertine blocks, granite blocks, intermediate leather goods. ये सब 5 में आ रही है. Reduction of cement from 28 to 18, क्योंकि घर बनाने में मिडिल क्लास के लिए सीमेंट इतना आवश्यक है, इसीलिए 28. The tariff turmoil is not a matter which influenced the GST reform, because we've been at it now for more than 1.5 years. Some group of ministers was working on rate rationalization. Some other group of ministers a bit later was working on insurance and so on. And compensation cess was a reality that it is going to end the moment you paid back the loan. None of this has anything to do with the tariffs. So, no, there's nothing to do with the tariffs at all.
So those were the words of the Union Finance Minister last evening. Meanwhile, a lot of political reactions also coming in, hailing what is being now touted as Prime Minister Narendra Modi's Diwali bonanza on GST. Listen in.
Now, removing GST from life-saving drugs or from your life-saving earnings or the medical insurance. So these are the historical steps which I believe that every Indian is welcoming this. Secondly, now as government has proposed only 2 tax slabs, it's 5% and 18%. And very importantly, those things which government wish to that people should avoid, like tobacco or something like that, they have been heavily penalized for this purpose. So this is one of the historical decision by the government. As the Prime Minister has already said that they're going to give a big thing to the people of this country at the post Diwali. I think this would be transforming in the economy of this country. Angur khatte hain, that would I say, because they were unable to perform. Today, I think P. Chidambaram should remember his statement in the parliament when in 2000, somewhere in 12 or 13, I exactly don't know, maybe in 12, when he said that India will achieve 10 biggest economy in next 10 years. That is their thought process, that is their view, and that is the things that they introspect about themselves. Today is the time when countries growing at the fastest growing economy in this world now. And that is the reason that because we got so many kind of reforms, times to time reforms are required. Sometimes today something is required, tomorrow something different will be required. And that is the vision that a visionary leaders understand, that what and when it is required, it has to be done.
Bharat 1 Minute brought to you by Canara Bank. Together we can.
Madhya Pradesh's Chief Minister Mohan Yadav lauded the centre's GST reform and said that in times of uncertainty, Prime Minister Modi ensures the interest of industrialists and the common man. The Chief Minister further said that this shows that Prime Minister Modi is concerned about protecting the interest of the farmers. NDA leaders and its MPs observed Bihar Bandh in Patna against the abusive remarks made against Prime Minister Modi's late mother in a Congress rally in Darbhanga. BJP MP Ravi Shankar Prasad hit out against the India alliance and said that the people of Bihar will give a befitting reply to Rahul Gandhi and Tejasvi Yadav in the upcoming elections. An FIR has been registered and submitted in the court against MLA Rahul Mamkutahil for stalking and criminal intimidation. The crime branch has registered a case under BNS Sections 72 Part 2, which deals with stalking. The FIR is registered based on the notice issued by the Child Rights Commission and 9 other complaints given by politicians or social activists against him. Meanwhile, ahead of the upcoming assembly elections in the state of Bihar, political situation in the state is getting intense. BJP today has staged a protest after they called for a Bihar Bandh over the derogatory remarks hurled at Prime Minister Narendra Modi's late mother at a Mahagathbandhan event in Bihar's Darbhanga district. Several BJP leaders, especially workers and women workers, took to the streets with posters in their hands. And here's a quick report on what's happening in Bihar today.
The outrage continues to boil over the insult to Prime Minister Modi's late mother. The NDA today called for a 5-hour-long Bihar Bandh. All the constituent parties staged protests, including the senior BJP leaders. The BJP workers took to streets in different cities, with Mahila Morcha helming the protest. Large number of women workers from the BJP were on the streets taking part in the protests.
हम सभी महिलाएं स्तब्ध हैं। जिस तरह की गाली, अश्लील गाली का प्रयोग हमारे माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी की स्वर्गीय और दिवंगत माता जी के लिए की गई है, वह निंदनीय है, दुखद है और शर्मनाक है, जिसका हम प्रतिरोध करते हैं। आज उसी के विरोध में हम सभी महिलाएं बिहार की सड़कों को जाम करके रखे हैं और जब तक राहुल गांधी और तेजस्वी यादव माफी नहीं मांग लेते, हमारा आंदोलन यूं ही निरंतर चलता रहेगा।
The protesters were holding posters condemning the remarks on Prime Minister and Prime Minister Modi's late mother. At some places in Patna, protesters were seen protesting by burning tires as well. BJP MP Ravi Shankar Prasad, while taking part in the protest, tore into the Indie block.
अरे माँ का सम्मान भारतीय संस्कार है, हम सभी करते हैं, आप भी करते हैं। लेकिन एक माँ जो स्वर्गीय हो गई, जिसने गरीबी से बर्तन मांज के कपड़े साफ के बच्चों को पढ़ाया, एक भारत का प्रधानमंत्री बना, प्रभु राम की भक्त, आप जरा भी आपको शर्म नहीं है? आपको मंच से गाली दी गई है।
The Bandh call comes amid heightened political tensions in Bihar, even as the NDA fuming over the issue and calling it an insult to women and all the mothers. The opposition is yet to issue a formal response on the controversy.
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Actor Atish Kapoor in police custody for 2 days in alleged rape and sexual assault case. Hindu seers and groups write to Union Home Minister Amit Shah on increasing attacks on Sanatan Dharma and Hindus. Politics over GST reforms erupts. Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge says one nation, one tax had become one nation, nine taxes. Lee Street cheers major GST reforms as markets open in the green. Rupee strengthens by 17 paise against US dollar. ED probe into the betting app scam picks up pace. Shikhar Dhawan, cricketer summoned for questioning today. India battles record rainfall triggered by floods, landslides in Himachal Pradesh, Kulu and Kishtwar in Jammu and Kashmir.
On the Singapore side by Mr. Johnson Hung, Executive Director, Austin, and on the Indian side by Shri P. Kumran, Secretary East. Thank you, gentlemen. Taking forward Prime Minister Modi's vision for port-led development, we shall now witness the joint virtual inauguration of Jawaharlal Nehru Port PSA Mumbai Terminal BMCT Phase 2, which will be followed by introduction of a video on JN Port. Prime Ministers, may I request you to press the button and unveil the digital plaque.
India's maritime journey is a story of transformation anchored in the Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi's vision of port-led development. Over the last 11 years, this vision has reshaped our coastline, boosted cargo movement, and placed India firmly on the global maritime map.
Ports for prosperity और ports for progress का हमारा विजन धरातल पर लगातार बदलाव ला रहा है। दुनिया के बड़े बड़े मैरीटाइम ऑपरेटर्स भारत आए, भारत से ही ऑपरेट करें, इसके लिए भी भारत में तेजी से काम हो रहा है।
As part of this ongoing momentum, today we mark a new milestone, the inauguration of Phase 2 of Bharat Mumbai Container Terminals at JN Port, India's largest container port. India and Singapore share a trusted maritime partnership built on shared ambition and global vision. Together, we advance green shipping, smart port operations, and regional prosperity. Embracing these relationships, JNPA, India's best performing port, now also stands as the nation's largest container port, handling over 10 million containers annually and connecting India to the world. Strategically located in Navi Mumbai, JNPA integrates road, rail and the western dedicated freight corridor, ensuring swift cargo movement to key industrial hubs. PSA Mumbai.
All right, so these are the visuals of the Singapore Prime Minister Lawrence Wong. He is in the national capital. He is meeting the Prime Minister today. A joint statement is expected soon. Singapore Prime Minister Lawrence Wong also met External Affairs Minister S. Shankar in New Delhi ahead of his meeting with Prime Minister Modi. Earlier today, Wong called the start of his official visit to India productive. He arrived at the national capital on Tuesday for a 3-day trip. He had also posted on X, and I quote, "Had a productive start to my visit in New Delhi. Last evening, I joined overseas Singaporeans and friends of Singapore for a special SG60 reception. Many had travelled from different parts of India, Chennai, Mumbai and beyond to be a part of this occasion." In just a short while from now, we are expecting Prime Minister Modi and Singapore Prime Minister's joint statement. The Singapore Prime Minister has so far met Union Minister for Finance Nirmala Sitharaman and Union Minister of Health JP Nadda. During his meeting with Sitharaman, the two sides focused on strengthening the comprehensive strategic partnership.
May I request Honourable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, to give his remarks to the media.
Your Excellency, प्रधानमंत्री वांग, दोनों देशों के डेलीगेट्स, मीडिया के साथियों, नमस्कार। पदभार संभालने के बाद प्रधानमंत्री वांग की पहली भारत यात्रा पर मैं उनका हार्दिक स्वागत करता हूं। यह यात्रा और भी विशेष है क्योंकि इस वर्ष हम अपने संबंधों की 60वीं वर्षगांठ मना रहे हैं। फ्रेंड्स, पिछले साल मेरी सिंगापुर यात्रा के दौरान हमने अपने संबंधों को कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव स्ट्रेटेजिक पार्टनरशिप का दर्जा दिया था। इस एक वर्ष में हमारे संवाद और सहयोग में गति और गहराई आई है। आज साउथ ईस्ट एशिया क्षेत्र में सिंगापुर हमारा सबसे बड़ा ट्रेड पार्टनर है। सिंगापुर से भारत में बड़े स्तर पर निवेश हुआ है। हमारे रक्षा संबंध निरंतर मजबूत हो रहे हैं। पीपल टू पीपल संबंध गहरे और जीवंत है। आज हमने अपनी पार्टनरशिप के भविष्य के लिए एक डिटेल्ड रोड मैप तैयार किया है। हमारा सहयोग केवल पारंपरिक क्षेत्रों तक सीमित नहीं रहेगा। बदलते समय के अनुरूप एडवांस मैन्युफैक्चरिंग, ग्रीन शिपिंग, स्किलिंग, सिविल न्यूक्लियर और अर्बन वाटर मैनेजमेंट जैसे क्षेत्र भी हमारे सहयोग के केंद्र बिंदु बनेंगे। हमने निर्णय लिया है कि आपसी व्यापार को गति देने के लिए द्विपक्षीय कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव इकोनॉमिक कोऑपरेशन एग्रीमेंट और आसियान के हमारे फ्री ट्रेड एग्रीमेंट का समयबद्ध तरीके से रिव्यू किया जाएगा। भारत और सिंगापुर के रिश्तों में हमारे राज्य भी अहम हिस्सेदार होंगे। जनवरी में जब राष्ट्रपति थर्मन भारत यात्रा पर आए थे तो वे ओडिशा भी गए थे। पिछले एक साल में ओडिशा, तेलंगाना, आसाम और आंध्र प्रदेश के मुख्यमंत्री सिंगापुर जा चुके हैं। गुजरात का गिफ्ट सिटी हमारे स्टॉक मार्केट को जोड़ने का एक और नया सेतु बना है। फ्रेंड, पिछले साल हुए सेमीकंडक्टर इकोसिस्टम पार्टनरशिप समझौते ने रिसर्च और डेवलपमेंट को भी नई दिशा दी है। सेमिकॉन इंडिया कॉन्फ्रेंस में सिंगापुर की कंपनियों उनका बढ़ चढ़ करके हिस्सा लेना, ये अपने आप में बहुत बड़ी बात थी। चेन्नई में सिंगापुर का एक नेशनल सेंटर ऑफ एक्सीलेंस फॉर स्किलिंग स्थापित करने में सहयोग देगा। यह सेंटर एडवांस मैन्युफैक्चरिंग के क्षेत्र में स्किल्ड मैन पावर तैयार करेगा। फ्रेंड्स, टेक्नोलॉजी और इनोवेशन हमारी साझेदारी के मजबूत स्तंभ है। हमने तय किया है कि एआई, क्वांटम और अन्य डिजिटल टेक्नोलॉजीज में सहयोग को बढ़ाया जाएगा। आज स्पेस सेक्टर में हुए समझौते से अंतरिक्ष विज्ञान क्षेत्र सहयोग में एक नया अध्याय जुड़ रहा है। हमने निर्णय लिया है कि हमारे युवाओं को उनके टैलेंट को जोड़ने के लिए इस साल के अंत में इंडिया सिंगापुर हैकाथॉन का अगला राउंड किया जाएगा। यूपीआई और पे नाउ हमारे डिजिटल कनेक्टिविटी के सफल उदाहरण है और ये प्रसन्नता का विषय है कि इसमें 13 नए भारतीय बैंक जुड़े हैं। आज ग्रीन एंड डिजिटल शिपिंग कॉरिडोर्स के लिए हुए समझौते से मैरीटाइम सेक्टर में ग्रीन फ्यूल सप्लाई चेन और डिजिटल पोर्ट क्लियरेंस को बल मिलेगा। भारत अपने पोर्ट इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के विकास में तेजी से काम कर रहा है। इसमें सिंगापुर का अनुभव अत्यंत उपयोगी है। आज हमने सिंगापुर की कंपनी एसपीए इंटरनेशनल द्वारा विकसित भारत मुंबई कंटेनर टर्मिनल फेज 2 का उद्घाटन किया। यह हमारे कंटेनर हैंडलिंग की क्षमता को और बढ़ाएगा। फ्रेंड्स, सिंगापुर हमारी एक्ट ईस्ट पॉलिसी का एक महत्वपूर्ण स्तंभ है। हम आसियान के साथ सहयोग और इंडो पैसिफिक क्षेत्र में शांति और स्थिरता के जॉइंट विजन को आगे बढ़ाने के लिए मिलकर काम करते रहेंगे। आतंकवाद को लेकर हमारी समान चिंताएं हैं। हम मानते हैं कि आतंकवाद के खिलाफ एकजुटता से लड़ना सभी मानवतावादी देशों का कर्तव्य है। पहलगाम में हुए आतंकवादी हमले के बाद भारत के लोगों के प्रति संवेदना और आतंकवाद के खिलाफ हमारी लड़ाई में समर्थन के लिए मैं प्रधानमंत्री वांग और सिंगापुर सरकार का आभार व्यक्त करता हूं। एक्सेलेंसी, आवर रिलेशंस go far beyond diplomacy. This is a partnership with purpose, rooted in shared values, guided by mutual interest and driven by a common vision for peace, progress and prosperity. हमारी इस भागीदारी में आपकी निजी प्रतिबद्धता के लिए मैं आपका आभार व्यक्त करता हूं। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। Thank you.
Thank you, sir. May I now request His Excellency Mr. Lawrence Wong, Prime Minister of the Republic of Singapore, to give his remarks to the media.
Your Excellency Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Prime Minister Modi, for the warm and gracious hospitality extended to me and my delegation. 10 years ago, I joined then President Tony Tan on his state visit to commemorate the 50th anniversary of diplomatic ties between Singapore and India. Today, 10 years later, I'm glad to be back on my first official visit as Prime Minister and to celebrate 60 years of close and enduring friendship between our two countries. Over this past decade, India has made remarkable advances under Prime Minister Modi's leadership. India is now the 4th largest economy in the world, with a dynamism and influence felt far beyond its borders. Our bilateral relationship has grown in tandem. Singapore is the largest foreign investor in India, accounting for around a quarter of India's foreign direct investment inflows. And our cooperation now spans a wide and diverse range of fields. Last year, PM Modi and I agreed to elevate relations to a comprehensive strategic partnership, or a CSP. This morning, we had fruitful discussions on how we can take this CSP forward. The Prime Minister has highlighted quite a number of areas, and I will reiterate a few of them. First, Singapore will continue to support India's skills development journey. We are honored to accept India's invitation to be a global partner for the National Center of Excellence in Chennai, which will focus on advanced manufacturing. We will also collaborate with India to set up state-level skills centers to meet industry needs in sectors like aviation, maintenance, repair and overhaul, and semiconductors. Second, we will expand cooperation in manufacturing and industrial development. Singapore companies are keen to develop sustainable industrial parks in India to support India's manufacturing ambitions. At the same time, we will deepen collaboration in semiconductors, not just in skills training, but also in R&D, supply chains, and logistics. And these efforts will generate new growth opportunities for both our countries. Third, we will strengthen connectivity across the air, sea, and digital domains. This morning, we exchanged an MOU on cooperation in training, research, and development in civil aviation. This will support the growth of our aviation sectors, facilitate trade and tourism, and create more commercial opportunities. On the maritime side, we just launched Phase 2 of PSA's Bharat Mumbai Container Terminal in Navi Mumbai, which will become India's largest standalone container terminal. And beyond physical links, we are also enhancing digital connectivity between our financial systems. Our central banks have exchanged an MOU on digital asset innovation, and we are discussing ways to further enhance cross-border data flows and capital market linkages, including through regulatory sandboxes that would allow us to test bed new innovations. Fourth, we will expand cooperation in frontier areas like space. To date, more than 20 Singapore-made satellites have been launched by India. Through the MOU on promoting collaboration in the space sector, we will broaden this partnership and push the boundaries of what we can achieve together. Finally, Prime Minister Modi and I reaffirmed that people-to-people ties remain the bedrock of our relationship. We agreed to enhance exchanges, including through closer civil service cooperation. All of these initiatives reflect the breadth and depth of our CSP. And to guide our efforts, PM Modi and I have also agreed on a roadmap, an ambitious and detailed roadmap to chart the next phase of our relationship. In a world marked by great uncertainty and turbulence, the partnership between India and Singapore becomes even more important, because this is a partnership rooted in shared values, mutual respect, and a deep reservoir of trust. We can draw strength from our shared history and the friendship and trust between our peoples. And together we can strengthen resilience, seize new opportunities, and contribute to stability and growth in our region and beyond. So I look forward to working hand in hand with Prime Minister Modi to bring the Singapore-India partnership to even greater heights in the years ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. That concludes the press statement.
All right, so those were the initial remarks of the Prime Minister and Singapore Prime Minister Lawrence Wong. Remember, Lawrence Wong is on a 3-day official visit to India, and this is for strengthening Singapore and India ties. The Singapore Prime Minister has also so far met the Union Minister for Finance Nirmala Sitharaman. He's also met the Union Health Minister JP Nadda. During his meeting with Sitharaman, the two sides had focused on strengthening the comprehensive strategic partnership between India and Singapore. Prime Minister in his joint statement that he just delivered few moments back, said that the visit is important as this year being celebrated as 60 years of the bilateral relationship. All right, with that, we move across to some other big stories that we are tracking. Global investment bank Morgan Stanley has noted that the rationalization of the GST structure approved by the GST Council is expected to significantly boost consumption in the coming months, coinciding with the onset of the festive season. In its latest research report, the firm highlighted that the shift from the existing 4-tier GST rate system to a simplified 2-rate structure of a standard rate percent of 18% and a merit rate of 5% will make a range of goods and services more affordable for consumers. A special demerit rate of 40% will continue for a select few items such as tobacco products and luxury goods as well. The Morgan Stanley report has also said that they expect the improved affordability to give a fillip to consumption, especially as the new GST tax structure is effective from the start of the festive season. The report said, adding that the indirect tax reduction would help lift demand in a broad-based manner, particularly benefiting low-income households. Now, with the new GST that is set to come into effect from September of 22nd this year, in line with Prime Minister Modi's announcement during his Independence Day address about the next generation GST reforms aimed at simplifying the tax regime and benefiting consumers. The rationalization of rates gives benefit to a wide range of daily essentials, ladies and gentlemen, like healthcare items and consumer durables. For instance, GST on personal care products like hair oil, shampoo, toothpaste and shaving cream has been reduced from a staggering 18% to 5%, while dairy products such as butter and ghee will now attract 5% GST instead of earlier 12%. The individual health insurance and life insurance premiums have also been exempted from GST altogether. Meanwhile, in the auto sector, there are small cars, two-wheelers below 350cc and three-wheelers that will now attract 18% GST instead of the previous 28%, while air conditioners and large television sets have also seen their rates slashed from 28% to nearly 18%. All right, Pranav is joining us live from the digital news floor on that note. Pranav, this is a big Diwali bonanza. Morgan Stanley report also commending the GST reforms that has come after nearly 17 years.
Yes, absolutely. In fact, Morgan Stanley has now said that the government estimate of fiscal impact of 48,000 crore, that's about 0.13% of GDP, will be felt. But then that's marginal compared to the 1.98 lakh crore of consumption that it is expected to boost over the next few months, given that there is festive season, and a tremendous boost is likely in consumer goods, FMCG, auto and consumer electronics because of the festive season. We're also expecting that these reforms will boost the GDP by about 1.6%. to counter Donald Trump's tariffs, which are likely to impact about 0.6% of GDP.
Right, Pranav. Thank you very much for getting us those details. Meanwhile, Union Minister Piyush Goyal has also hailed the GST reforms. Listen into what he had to say.
He had announced that there is a big Diwali bonanza in GST. And we have yesterday seen that what we thought could be big has turned out to be the biggest ever reform that India has seen since independence. This has many dimensions. Consumers will benefit in a very big way with the reduction in taxes across the board on almost all items of our day-to-day needs. Pharmaceuticals, food products, textiles, footwear. I was going through the list, it's all encompassing. And the amount of changes made in process and procedure will contribute also to the ease of doing business. These lower rates will support growth of demand and industry's scale of operation in the country will grow by leaps and bounds. Greater demand will lead to greater investment, greater jobs, and the virtuous cycle of growth will get a leg up, will get a big boost. The virtuous cycle of growth will get a big boost from the Diwali gift given by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. This will contribute to ease of living, better quality of life for 1.4 billion citizens.
And even as the Congress party and the other opposition parties are calling this a very late move by the government, the BJP has gone ahead to hail the move, the GST reforms that have come after 17 years, saying that this GST reform is for the common man. Listen in to these reactions.
Now removing GST from life-saving drugs or from your life-saving earnings or the medical insurance. So these are the historical steps which I believe that every Indian is welcoming this. Secondly, now as government has proposed only 2 tax slabs, it's 5% and 18%. And very importantly, those things which government wish to that people should avoid, like tobacco or something like that, they have been heavily penalized for this purpose. So this is one of the historical decision by the government. As the Prime Minister has already said that they're going to give a big thing to the people of this country at the post-Diwali. I think this would be transforming in the economy of this country. Angur khatte hain, that would I say, because they were unable to perform. Today, I think P. Chidambaram should remember his statement in the parliament when in 2000, somewhere in 12 or 13, I exactly don't know, maybe in 12, when he said that India will achieve 10 biggest economy in next 10 years. That is their thought process, that is their view, and that is the things that they introspect about themselves. Today is the time when countries growing at the fastest growing economy in this world now. And that is the reason that because we got so many kind of reforms, times to time reforms are required. Sometimes today something is required, tomorrow something different will be required. And that is the vision that a visionary leaders understand, that what and when it is required, it has to be done.
Bharat 1 Minute brought to you by Canara Bank. Together we can.
And here's a quick check of the other stories that we're tracking in Bharat in 1 minute. During the monsoon session of Rajasthan Legislative Assembly, Congress MLAs staged a protest demanding compensation for farmers due to heavy rainfall. Rajasthan LOP Tikaram said the Congress party will also raise the voice of farmers inside the assembly. Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath laid the foundation stone of development projects worth Rs 2,251 crore in Gorakhpur GIDA area. Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin, during his London visit, signed several memorandum of understanding, including with Wilson Power and Britannia RFID to invest Rs 300 crore and Rs 520 crore respectively. The Chief Minister signed a total of 6 agreements, including 4 with University of Exeter and others. The gates of the Baglihar Dam have been opened as water levels in the Chenab River rise following heavy rainfall in the region. And with that, it's time for us to now slip into a short break. After the break, getting you the inside details of the allegations on actor Ashish Kapoor, who is now in 2-day police custody after charges of rape.
प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ 8 मिनट में तैयार क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा प्योर मसाला
13,000 placements last year. At Amity, we are committed to nurturing passionate, hardworking and proactive professionals.
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध, MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे, केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ 8 मिनट में तैयार। क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
I choose a world where we dream and the limit is the sky, and this world is my home where I'm living my best.
Mindfully crafted home decor fabrics. Sansar, a D-Decor brand. Live consciously.
R Pure Shahi Paneer Masala. Delicious, healthy, every day.
Actor Ashish Kapoor in police custody for 2 days in alleged rape and sexual assault case. Hindu seers and groups write to Union Home Minister Amit Shah on increasing attacks on Sanatan Dharma and Hindus. Politics over GST reforms erupt. Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge says one nation, one tax has become one nation, 9 taxes. D Street cheers major GST reforms as market open in green. Rupee strengthens by 17 paise against the US dollar. ED probe into betting app scam pick space. Cricketer Shikhar Dhawan summoned for questioning today. India battles record rainfall triggered floods, landslides reported in Himachal's Kullu and Kishtwar in J&K. All right, thank you for staying with Republic viewers. I'm Antara Gupta and you're watching Live and Breaking with me. We're starting this edition with a big breaking news that is coming in. Hindu seers and groups write to Union Home Minister Amit Shah. Hindu seers have in fact raised the issue of increasing attacks on Sanatan Dharma and Hindus. The seers, ladies and gentlemen, have also raised the issue of digital assault on the sacred places. Remember, viewers, the Dharmasthala hoax probe case has completely blown up. In fact, the Enforcement Directorate has also initiated a preliminary investigations into the allegations of dubious foreign funding, which was used to fuel communal conspiracies during the Dharmasthala row in Karnataka. And now we are getting to know that Hindu seers have written to Union Home Minister Amit Shah. They have raised the issue of assault of sacred places and the continuous assault on Hindus and Sanatan Dharma. This is the big breaking news that we are tracking at this moment, ladies and gentlemen. This is a big Republic exclusive. In fact, the sources have also stated that the ED is currently gathering facts and documents which are related to all entities and stakeholders. All right, let's cut straight across to Smita, who is joining me live on this bulletin. Smita, we are getting to know that Hindu seers have now taken matters in their own hands. In fact, they have written to Union Home Minister Amit Shah and they have raised the issue of the continuous attacks on Hindus, Sanatan Dharma and the religious places. What are the current developments that you're picking up on your end? Smita.
Exactly, a few prominent Hindu seers, especially Rajshekarananda Shri and also Vachanananda Shri from Karnataka, along with 6 other seers, met, Central Home Minister Amit Shah yesterday, and they have given a written request, to the Home Minister demanding for a national level investigative agency to step into the current ongoing Dharmasthala, cases, because they are saying that there is a pattern which is developing in Karnataka, especially a few left, dominated and left probed agencies, YouTube's platforms are currently, deliberately targeting Hindu religious places and religious heads. So they have requested the Central Home Minister Amit Shah for, NIA to enter into the Dharmasthala ongoing case, and also in a larger canvas, they have also demanded, for the central government to look into the issue, because not only, Dharmasthala, but we have witnessed several attacks, both physical and also digital attacks on Hindu prominent leaders and also on shares in Karnataka. So these, Shris who met the Central Home Minister Amit Shah have demanded and also requested the central government to look into Karnataka issue, especially on Dharmasthala and also on these conspirators who are deliberately targeting Hindu religious places.
Well, certainly, Smita, this is indeed an explosive development that is coming forward. Of course, we'll be closely tracking this. Meanwhile, Republic's executive editor spoke to one of the Hindu seers who wrote to Union Home Minister Amit Shah. Listen into that interaction, viewers.
With me, that is why I just wanted to ask him about the letter. So essentially, Vajradehi Swamiji is live with us. This is Rajshekharananda Swamiji, and I have the letter that has been written, and I have about 8 seers who have written this letter basically, Deepak. So there are 8 seers who have signed the letter, and they have met Union Home Minister Amit Shah yesterday. We have those pictures also playing out. These are exclusive pictures, by the way, so we'll use a watermark on that. But the question is, स्वामी जी, आपने अमित शाह जी से क्या पूछा? आपका मांग क्या थी? क्योंकि इस लेटर में आपने एक स्पेशल लॉ का भी मांग किया है. You asked for another law, a special legislation.
NIA इन्वेस्टिगेशन को हमने मना किया, जो क्योंकि ये विचार जो चल रहा है पूरी जगह
उसमें कोई GST नहीं ला रहा है. ठीक उसी प्रकार दही, लस्सी, छाछ, आप देखिए नॉर्थ इंडिया में दही, लस्सी, छाछ के बिना क्यों ठीक बोल रहा है?
छाछ के बिना क्यों मैं ठीक बोल रहा हूं ना रवि जी? हरियाणा के लोग, हमारे पंजाब के लोग, दही, लस्सी, छाछ, उसके बिना तो हमारी जिंदगी अधूरी है. तो स्वाभाविक रूप से उस पर भी जिस प्रकार मात्र अब बड़ी बात है. आप देखिए 31% बच्चों की बात मैंने की थी खाने पीने के विषय में. बच्चे चॉकलेट पसंद करते हैं. 31% का वैट था चॉकलेट के ऊपर, जो अब की कम होकर 5% हो गया है. दिवाली में, नवरात्र में मिठाई सब पसंद करते हैं. 21% का वैट था मिठाई के ऊपर, जो अब कम होकर 5% हो गया है. तो यह अपने आप में एक बहुत बड़ा विषय है. गेहूं, चावल, आटा. गेहूं पे 2.5% वैट था प्री जीएसटी एरा में, अब 0% जीएसटी है. चावल, राइस 2.75% उस पे वैट था और अब 0% जीएसटी है चावल के ऊपर. मैं तो उड़ीसा से आता हूं, चावल खाने वाला प्रदेश है, हम चावल पसंद करते हैं. तो उड़ीसा के लिए, बंगाल के लिए, बिहार के कई अंचलों में, कई स्थानों पे चावल खाया जाता है. असम के लिए ये बहुत खुशखबरी का विषय है. आटा, अब आटा कांग्रेस के जमाने में, राहुल गांधी जी से मैं कहना चाहूंगा कि आपके जमाने में आटे पर 3.5% यह टैक्स लगता था 1 लीटर आटे पे, लीटर नहीं सॉरी, केजी. 1 केजी आटे पर 3%, 5%, 3.5% टैक्स लगता था. अब उसे 0 कर दिया गया है. ठीक उसी प्रकार सोयाबीन का तेल और ग्राउंडनट का जो तेल है, 6% का जिस पे वैट लगता था, अब उस पे 0% का जीएसटी लगता है. मैंने अगर नॉर्थ इंडिया की बात की और मैंने छाछ और दही की बात की, तो हम सब, चाहे हम नॉर्थ इंडियन हो चाहे हम साउथ इंडियन हो, पूरे भारत को इडली डोसा तो पसंद है. उसके बिना आज ब्रेकफास्ट कंप्लीट नहीं होता है. तो इसलिए जो डोसा और इडली का बैटर होता है, उस डोसे और इडली के बैटर पे जहां पहले 12% टैक्स था उसे घटा करके 5% टैक्स कर दिया गया है। तो मैं तो कहूंगा चलिए इडली डोसा जरूर आप खाइए, नाश्ते पर खाइए और भारतवर्ष का गुण गाइए। आजकल पानी, बॉटल्ड मिनरल वाटर हम सबके जीवन का एक अंग बन गया है। आप पत्रकार हैं, बहुत धूप में खड़े रहते हैं, मैं देखता हूं आपके हाथ में एक बॉटल मिनरल वाटर जरूर रहता है। मैं देख रहा हूं आपके हाथ में भी है, बॉटल मिनरल वाटर है। तो स्वाभाविक रूप से जिस पर 27% का टैक्स था बॉटल मिनरल वाटर पे वैट के माध्यम से, जब वैट का जमाना था, जब गांधी परिवार का जमाना था, तो 27% टैक्स लगता था बॉटल मिनरल वाटर पे और आज 5% टैक्स लगता है जीएसटी पे। ये तो खाने पीने का विषय था। अब हम आते हैं हाउस होल्ड एसेंशियल्स और एफएमसीजी। एफएमसीजी मतलब फास्ट मूविंग कॉमर्शियल गुड्स। हम दुकान पे जाते हैं और तुरंत साबुन, तेल, जो पैकेट्स उठाते हैं, जो एकदम पेरिशेबल आइटम्स फटाफट उठाया हमने, वो एफएमसीजी होता है। और जो घर पे हम कॉमन यूज करते हैं उनका क्या हुआ है? शुरू से शुरू करते हैं आरंभ। सो के उठने के बाद टूथपेस्ट लगा करके टूथब्रश करना। तो जो टूथपेस्ट था उस टूथपेस्ट पर 27% वैट लगता था। 27% वैट था टूथपेस्ट पर, अब वो घट करके 5% हो गया है। हम सब मिडिल क्लास से आते हैं, हम सबके लिए ये एक्सपीरियंस रहा होगा। सुबह उठकर जब आप टूथपेस्ट लगाते थे तो घर में कोई ना कोई बड़ा, माताजी या पिताजी जरूर देखते थे कि ये बच्चा थोड़ा सा लगाया है या पूरा लगाया है। टीवी देख के एडवर्टाइजमेंट हम लोग को मन होता था कि पूरा लगा दे। टूथपेस्ट लगाना मतलब पूरे पे लगाना है।